Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I have a letter E gift box. So I shared the M for Mother's Day a few weeks ago. It's been extremely popular with loads of people requesting that I do the whole alphabet. So I am going to do the whole alphabet. It's going to take me some time, so bear with me. But here's the letter E. So I wanted to do one for Easter. I think I might do another one as well because these are going to go into hampers. On the top here, you've got your little flip lid. You could have this as one solid piece of pattern paper along rather than the two, and I talk about that in the video. And it is just filled to the brim with a mixture of Easter chocolates. We've got bunnies, we've got little chicks, we've got eggs, coins, and I'll show you those towards the end. Very easy to do. If you've made the letter M, then and you enjoyed that one, then this one is going to be straightforward to do, and it's easy to adapt. Once you see my kind of method of doing it, then you will be able to make other letters, and people have already been making their own and sharing them on our group. But like I said, I will eventually have a whole playlist of the whole alphabet, so it's going to take a little while, but I will get there. So this is the E for now, so let's get started. So first of all, we will make the template for the letter. I've also got a template for your pattern paper, and then these are all the side pieces. So first of all, you want to cut yourself a piece of 4 3/4 by 6. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be keeping all of my letters when I eventually have done the whole alphabet. They will all always be 6 inches tall. The widths may vary, but it just means that if you do decide to make, you know, a word, they're all going to be the same height, so it looks nice. So, but of course, you know, I know people already have been making theirs much bigger. So 4 3/4 by 6. And what you want to do is I'm going to flip this one over here because I've got all the measurements. So we'll go along this one here. I'm going to keep it on my scoreboard because you can see it easier. So along one of the long sides here, you want to mark with a pencil 1.5 and 4.5. And then again along the other side there. And draw a pencil line right the way across. As you can see here, I would have drawn my pencil line right the way across there. Okay, so there's my 2 lines. Next, you want to pop it this way. From the left-hand side, you want to come across 3.5 inches. And again, along the bottom. And just join those up. Okay, so that's that one done. Then pop it along the long side. So this is now along the top. And then you want to come in 2.5 along the long side, so 2.5, and then that would be at 3.5. So you can do 2.5 and 3.5, or do 2.5 and then 2.5 from that end. Whatever way you do it, do the same again down here. So 2.5 and 3.5, and then join those up. And then you want to have it in this orientation. So make sure you've got this 3.5 score line over to the right hand side. You now want to add another one at 2, and then along the bottom, and then join that one up like so. So you should start to now kind of see this E shape. So we're going to now cut away this section and this section and this one here. So you're going to remove that back to front C, and then you can see you've got your E. Once you've then got your template, you then just sit it over the top of your cardstock like so, and you then just draw around this part here, as you can see I've done there, and then just cut that out. Okay, so once you've got them both, just sit them together and make sure they all line up, which those do. Okay, then you're going to want to cut these pieces here. So I've wrote some just directions for myself in pencil because this is all going to be covered with pattern paper. So first of all, you want a piece that's 3 by 11 1/4. Along the 3-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 2.5. And then along the long side, you're going to score at 6 and at 10 3/4. And then on this one, I've wrote, you want to have the 1/2 inch tab at the bottom. So I've put bottom. Then I've put left side and bottom. So it's going to run down this side of the E. And then I've just put top there. It's just going to help you. If you mark that, then you'll know exactly which ones I'm using when I go to put that together next. But it will also just help yourself just understanding all the pieces. Then I've got this one here, which is 3 by 10 3/4. Again, you're going to score along that 3-inch side at 1/2 inch and 2.5. And then along the long side, you're going to score at 1.5, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, 7 3/4, 9 1/4, and 10 1/4. I'm going to repeat those again because I want to make sure I get this right. 1.5, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, 7 3/4, 9 1/4, and 10 1/4. And on this one, you want to have, well, you can see what I did, but that 1.5 piece at the bottom, I've just wrote bottom. This is all the middle part. So when we go to do all of this, this is this section, and then I've just put the top there. And then this one is going to be kind of like around this bit here. So this again is 3, and then it's 9.5 long. Along the 3-inch, score at 1/2 and 2.5. And then along the 9.5, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 5 1/4, and 6 3/4. Again, you're going to score at 1/2, 2.5, 5 1/4, and 6 3/4. Okay, so that's all the pieces that you need. You want to fold and burnish all those score lines next. Okay, so first of all, you'll have a 1/2 inch tab on all of those pieces, and that's going to be the connecting piece. So with all of those, you'll have a little square in the corner. You just want to remove the square, and we want to turn those into little tabs. And then I'm just going to take a little wedge off of each corner there. So you will have large, medium and small piece. So with the large one, pop it along the long side. And how I cut this on every score line is how you're going to cut all the others. So I've got a score line here. I just want to cut a little triangle across the score line, because you then want to turn all these 1/2 inch pieces into tabs. So, and then I'm going to take another little wedge off of that end and off that one there. Flip it. Again, cut a little triangle over the score line, and then just take that away, like so. Okay, so you'll have that one. Then the medium one, you're going to do the same. So every time you see a score line, you could, if you want, just cut up the score line first, and then take a little wedge, you know, off of each piece. So it's one long 1/2 inch at the moment. You're then going to break it down into all these little pieces, and that's how we're going to be able to, you know, wrap it around that E shape. So you just want to do that all the way along here and on the other side. Okay, and then again, exactly the same, this one here. So they should all now look like this. So I'm going to take I'll start with the back actually. So this one here, 'cause you're not going to see any of this pencil. And this one here is the longest one. So you'll see with this one here, it's the same height as the letter. We fold that in, we're going to stick that onto there. So I'm going to use my quick grab glue for all of these tabs. And then I'll use the Collall Glue when I do all the mats and layers with the pattern paper, and that will give us the strength. So all the way along there, and then you want to sit this over the top and make sure it's running perfectly from the top to the bottom, and then it sits nicely on there. Like I said, don't worry about the pencil because it's all going to get covered. Obviously, if you're not, this might be pattern paper that you're already using, then you will just want to, you know, make sure you rub it all out if you have wrote on it. Okay, so we've got that one, and then this one is going to swoop around, and you'll see it will sit perfectly along the bottom, and then that's the tab to be able to add the next bit. So again, add your glue all the way along there, fold that in, just bring that along. Then we can take this one where I wrote all the middle part, top and bottom. So wherever you've got the tab, that will be, as I said, at the top. So the bottom will connect to this one here. So if you want to connect it first and then add that piece, or you could connect it onto the letter and then stick the tab in, you know, work, you know, however is easiest for you. I'm going to add the glue to that piece as well at the same time, I think. And kind of get that one in there and then bring that one up. I mean, you can use your tapes as well if you want, you know, like red tape and stuff for this, but I find liquid glue easier because it just gives me that little bit of time to get everything into place. This cardstock that I'm using is Craft Perfect, I believe, 220 GSM. Okay, like so. Now this is where this is the most fiddliest part. So this one's going to fold in and go along there, and this one's going to come up, and then that one will go this way. You're just wrapping it, keeping the tabs all inside the letter, wrapping it around, and it's going to finish up here. Okay, so if you want to, I guess you could add your glue all the way along. I think I'm just going to go to there and do that section first. So I'm going to sit that one over there because you can see perfectly where you need to place it. And bring that one round to there. And as I said before, if it's a little bit, you know, you've maybe gone a bit crooked, or, you know, you've gone in too far into the letter, you can trim bits away, but you can also cover it with some, you know, gemstones, pom-pom trim. So there's lots of ways, so don't be too disheartened, and maybe do a trial run first as well with some scrap card. But you can see now already we've got our shape coming on nicely there. And then I'm going to add the glue on there and then up here. I actually find it easier doing it this way, adding the glue along the letter rather than on the side pieces. And then just sit that one there and bring that one around. Okay, and then you've got your last one. So remember, you've got your tab here, so that's going to connect where I wrote the bottom. That's going to connect onto there. And then this one will wrap around and then to there. But this is your flip bit at the end. So that one, the very last section, I've put flip lid and top. Just leave it all open, because that is going to be the lid. You don't want to stick that down. So you're only sticking 1, 2, 3 sections down onto the box. So again, I'm going to add the glue onto there, and then all along here, and then it'll be to there because I've got my pencil mark. Take your time if you just want to do the tab first, you know, and then do one at a time. And you can just get your ruler in there each time as well, just to make sure everything is nice and secure. Okay, so I mean, it's going to be that way. This is the back, so that's going to be the bit that will close, and then that will flip up and you'll be able to get all the treats. So what I would suggest at this point is maybe add your pattern paper onto this side, which would be a piece of 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then if you've got a punch or something, you may even want to do this before you stick it down, and you've got a circle die and you can just run this end. But basically I like to add a little finger pull in the top here so that you can open your lid. But it is optional, you can still open the boxes fine without. But as I've said before in other videos where I've done finger pulls, you could also just cut a little triangle here, a little square shape. That will be fine as well. My punch fits perfectly in there, so I'm going to carry on, put the rest together, and then when I add the pattern paper. But I just want to mention that now at this point, because some people may need to do it. So now we just need to stick this on the top. So all of these tabs, we want to start just getting them kind of laying down flat. So in the corner, doesn't matter which one you stick over the top, but just start to just tack them together there. And make sure you've got the right angle as well. You don't want to pull them in too much. and lose that shape, because it's quite easy to do. I'm just going to use my tweezers here just so I can get in there a bit easier and just pinch that together like so. So those ones are just going to stay out, and then those two are going to go over the top there, and then I can just take that down. And then it's just that one left there. Okay, so remember to keep that open. So now you can add your glue to all the tabs and sit your letter over the top. And then you'll be able to get your ruler into certain parts, so just where you can, just add a bit of pressure there. There we go. That's actually turned out a lot better than I thought, because this is the first one I've put together completely. So now that should all close nicely, and there is your letter. So next I'm going to cut all of my pattern paper and just finish the decoration. Okay, so just stuck those down there. I think that looks quite cute. And then for the treats, I've got all these. Again, I picked these up from, some are from like Lidl, Aldi, Marks and Spencer's, the Pound Shop. They're all different. I think these are Lidl, these ones here, but these are really nice. So it depends, you know, what you've got. But I mean, things like that, they're going to fit in those little gaps. The coins, you know, the width of these is going to fit in there perfectly. I've got these here as well. I've got some Lindor eggs there, and I've even got these. I've got chicks and bunnies. So I think I'm going to put a bit of everything in. I think it'd be quite nice to have a mix. Okay, I have filled that. I actually think it's brilliant having a mix of everything. I mean, what child or adult isn't going to like that? So I hope you've enjoyed the letter E gift box tutorial from me today. Like I said at the beginning, personalise this for somebody whose name or any other occasion that starts with the letter E. But I think they're really lovely for Easter. And yeah, these are going to look great when I add them into my hampers. Easy for them to access the sweets, and you could put little gifts in there as well. I think that would look lovely. So I will link the product that I've used in today's tutorial in the description box below. The letter M tutorial would have popped up as well, but hopefully, you know, you'll be able to adapt this for other letters, but I will eventually have the whole alphabet on the channel. Just bear with me. So thank you again for watching. Take care. Bye.